Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to NXT The Game Season 2, Episode 70. We are just a day removed from the fourth day of the NXT Juniors Tournament. We have some big stuff going down tonight in tonight's show, so let's get straight into the action. We are in front of 6,000 people in Louisiana at the Faint Ewing Coliseum. We're going to start off with our standing announcers' introductions as they welcome us to ringside and welcome us to the show. Tom Phillips performed poorly. All right, coming up next, the fans cheers. Titus Neal is shown in the backstage with 4 NXT women superstars. Titus says that next week, Candice LeRae will take on Ruby Riott and Ember Moon will be taking on Bridges. Titus goes on to say that the winners will head to NXT TakeOver War Games to beat 2 of the 4 women in the Fatal 4 match to determine the new NXT Secondary Championship, which will be determined at a later date. So, no scale improvements, but basically we're going to have these 4 women face off. The 2 winners of the 2 singles matches will be 2 of the 4 in the Fatal 4-Way at NXT TakeOver War Games for the new Secondary Championship, 64C. Next, we get hype from all of Bayley and the Iconic Trio's Peyton Royce interactions over the last few months. We see the shoulders being up and yet again championships being up in the air due to the inclusion and awful refereeing here in NXT as of late. This will be the last time the 2 face for the NXT Women's Championship right now, and tonight it'll be Bayley versus Peyton Royce coming up next. So Bayley came at it looking excellent. Peyton Royce was really good, and these are 2 of my better women on the roster, but we need to move on from it eventually. 65C. All right, and a decent match. Bayley defeats Peyton Royce in 12:48 by pinfall with a hugplex. Bayley makes defense number 2 of her NXT Women's Championship, and that will be going for the main Women's Championship. As I said earlier, that we will have a secondary title to be determined at NXT TakeOver War Games, but as of right now, that will be the main title. So if you guys have any naming ideas for the secondary Women's Championship, that would be fantastic. I have a couple names I will put out for suggestions. I will be polling, I suppose, but I would like a couple, suggestions from you guys, the fans. So if you want to comment, like, subscribe, maybe even share the video and get everyone's opinion, that would be fantastic. 60C. You can also tweet me as well at MikeBroBooks. 60C. Bayley celebrates in the ring, finally ridding herself of Peyton Royce and the Iconic Trio. Bayley's is your clear-cut NXT Women's Champion, and really a member of House NXT. 65C. All right, coming up next, though, in an extremely short match, Becky Lynch, Ember Moon, and Sasha Banks defeat Bridges, Mrs. NXT, and Nikki Cross when Becky defeated Mrs. NXT by pinfall with a hard knocks. So Becky Lynch getting the victory over the Mr. and Mrs. NXT here tonight. All right, let's see what happened here. We did not have Mr. and Mrs. NXT are a very poor combination. They do not click. I am sorry to hear that. Not doing anything about that, though. Sasha with an 80, Ember with an 80, Becky with an 82. This was a sex appeal-based match. I'm guessing we have a low rating because our products aren't high on the TNA, but we'll take it for now. 54C- between these 6 lovely ladies. All right, now the camera shows a dark room, light barely illuminating as Sanity's Eric Young shows up on the screen laughing. Eric Young says that Sanity has been overlooked for too long, and now that they are healthy, they are ready to go. Eric Young says that tonight not only will Alexander Wolf and Killian Dane set the world on fire, but they'll show the entire world exactly what Sanity is preparing to do to NXT. Nikki Cross looks crazy as shit per usual as Eric Young continues to talk about the singular direction behind Sanity is going to take them off the top of the mountain and propel them into the next level here in NXT. He warns people to prepare themselves. So Sanity making a statement here tonight backstage. They'll be taking on the Revival later in a little bit. 69C+, the controlled Chaos storyline has advanced. Next, we fade backstage where TJP is in the back with Titus O'Neil showing him his victory on the screen over Roddy Strong at the Mega 12 Juniors Day 4. TJP says just like Ty Dillinger got a championship shot after defeating Roddy Strong at the Juniors tournament, he deserves one as well. Titus O'Neil says he's unfortunately set a precedent, it appears. However, he doesn't think that it's an awful idea. He says that TJP showed he can keep up, and TJP is aware that the Titus brand knows What's up? Tess Brand says that at NXT TakeOver War Games in 4 weeks, sure, he can have a shot against the NXT Junior Heavyweight champion, Roddy Strong, when he takes on Roddy Strong at TakeOver. TJP says that at TakeOver War Games, he'll be the new NXT Junior Heavyweight Champion. TJP walks away, leaving Titus to his thoughts. So we're going to continue the Manifest Destiny storyline with Titus O'Neil, and we're also going to continue the Mega 12 storyline, which has advanced and gained heat. So 70C plus, TJP will take on Roddy Strong in just 4 weeks at War Games. Up next, and about that had good wrestling and a decent reaction, the Revival defeats Sanity in 13 minutes when Alexander Wolf got disqualified after going into a rage and refusing to stop assaulting Scott Dawson. During the match, we also had Eric Young run in and attack Dash and Dawson as well. 72 and 76 for Dash and Dawson, 54 and 58 for Wolf and Dane. Wolf is improving in technical skills, so actually much better than I thought they would be able to achieve. A 68C plus is great for these two. After having physically taken the Revival apart, Sanity stands in the middle of the ring over the Revival and applauding their handiwork. The quartet finally leaving the ring, having left the Revival out cold. So that, yeah, Sanity takes out the Revival. An unexpected turn of events here in NXT tonight, as the Revival, who accidentally injured Akam, has been taken out by Sanity. All right, so this single got the crowd hotter. That's great. No scale improvements, but a 75B-. Next up, in 2 weeks, the return of Bobby Roode and Andrade Cien Almas NXT. They'll square off 2 weeks in the main event. So we're going to go ahead and put these two against each other in the main event 2 weeks in a row. Again, we're kind of burning off these feuds that have lasted from Season 1 heading through our rival TakeOver special that we're going to go moving on to a lot of new programs, but we're going to continue to burn these out as we head into War Games, in and out of War Games. 81B. All right, next up, and a superb match. Matt Jackson defeats Tommaso Ciampa in 11:47 with a moonsault following interference from his brother Nick Jackson. 83B plus. Wow, 76 and 74. The Elite storyline has advanced and gained heat. The crowd was buzzing. 83B plus for these two men. That's excellent. After the Young Bucks sliver out of the ring with Kenny Omega meeting them on the outside, Sami Zayn has ran down and set up and helped Tommaso Ciampa with Johnny Gargano. We are just a few weeks away from War Games when the men will go inside the double ring, double contained cage. So, yeah, man, again, this Elite storyline and House NXT storyline, again, is DIY, and Sami Zayn is just fucking amazing. It's absolutely on fire. The Young Bucks and DIY have just absolutely brought out the best in one another. Sami Zayn and Kenny Omega were great additions to this program as well. And an 88B plus, just absolutely fantastic work. And speaking of fantastic work, in next week's main event, we're going to get Johnny Wrestling, a.k.a. one half of DIY and the founding member of House NXT, Johnny Gargano, taking on the Elite's Kenny Omega just 3 weeks away, I guess, next week, but from the Elite and House NXT's massive match at War Games. So we're going to try to continue it in Omega and Johnny Wrestling. Should be fantastic. Last week we had Nick and Sammy. This week we had Tommaso and Matt. And next week we're going to have Kenny and Johnny. So 88B plus. And in the main event, in a decent match, Pete Dunne defeated Tyler Bate in a cage technical-based match in 10:36 when Pete Dunne escaped the cage after Tyler Bate had been taken out by Asuka. Pete Dunne wins the NXT UK Championship. Tyler Bate took a stump bump, 58 and 60 for Bate and Dunne. They continue to be great workers together as well. 68 for guys who aren't nearly as over as some of the other workers, but just an absolutely amazing match. Tom Phillips screams, "Asuka! Asuka's back and she just screwed Tyler Bate?" ? The fans booed loudly as the cage lifts up and Asuka stands across the ring from the fallen Pete Dunne in the middle of the ring as the fans begin to boo loudly. Asuka looks at Bate and slaps him across the face a few times as Bate rolls over to his face into the mat. Pete Dunne, in the meantime, has grabbed a microphone. Pete Dunne simply says, while looking at Asuka, "Manifest Destiny." The show ends with the referee handing Pete Dunne the NXT UK Championship straight into the air after becoming the champion again. Pete Dunne, though, hands the belt to Asuka, who goes to the turnbuckle and shatters the championship into a million pieces over the ring post, breaking it. The entire place is in shock as Asuka hands the championship back to Pete Dunne, who just looks at it, tosses it onto the ground, and kicks it at Tyler Bate before leaving with Asuka and NXT fading. So, yeah, guys, Asuka, who was injured, early on, went to NXT UK to just kind of hone her craft a little bit more. Not really to hone her craft. I didn't have a spot for her, but I sent her there to train people and to work and basically just to help bring along the women in the NXT UK brand along. And again, I wanted to start the NXT save with Asuka off it because Asuka is such a big force in NXT. So I wanted to start it with her off it. And I sent her to the UK and she has came back. Now, you may or may not recall Pete Dunne helped Triple H win with the Manifest Destiny storyline, and Pete Dunne now has gotten help from Asuka. So Asuka and Pete Dunne on the heel side of things are aligned loosely though right now, but are aligned with Triple H. Tyler Bate obviously with William Regal, but just an absolute murdering of Tyler Bate in the ring by Asuka. And Pete Dunne and Asuka are together in Manifest Destiny, a new stable here in NXT. So we get hopefully 72, 73, 76. Absolutely fantastic. The show has increased in 45 regions. So we're going to be, I think, 3 or 4. I think we're 3 weeks away. 2 junior shows away. 3 NXT shows away from NXT TakeOver War Games. But we have 2 huge developments out of tonight's show. Obviously, the huge, massive development with Pete Dunne winning the NXT UK Championship thanks to Asuka, who debuted / returned and absolutely tore apart Tyler Bate in the ring, the Manifest Destination storyline thing. And then we also, that was totally botched, the Manifest Destiny storyline. It's like 1:30 in the morning here, guys. I'm tired. So the Manifest Destiny storyline, and then obviously also the Revival losing or winning, but being beaten in a Rage DQ situation by Sanity, who's, basically saying, we've been overlooked. This isn't like the Dolph Ziggler, we've been overlooked. They've legit been overlooked. The tag team division has been amazing. And with the Authors of Pain out for a month, this gives me an opportunity to slide someone else in. And I do have another really good tag team coming in too. And that's not even to mention the tag team that I announced I had signed at NXT Legacy, our WrestleMania, who hasn't even debuted yet either. So, our tag team division is just absolutely insane. I know a lot of other people who do on YouTube, they have women's series and stuff like that. But shit, we could have our own tag team show called Duos. So, we have that many men. On the tag team and that are just amazing. But yeah, so please let me know what you thought about the big angle at the end. I have a lot of cool ideas planned for this Manifest Destiny storyline. Thanks for watching. This was NXT The Game Season 2, Episode 70, and we'll be back in a couple days with another edition of NXT. Thank you, and have a glorious evening.